EFCC headquarters matter I handled years back, and I was there for the first time in my life. This was about a month or so ago, and I assure you, nobody can leave that premises without the sanction of the EFCC. And I'm talking about the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. How much more the National Security Agency, it had men in its custody, foreigners. And this foreigner, one of them, at least that's the story they want us to believe, one of them escaped the custody of the NSA. He came out of that place, not a black man or a white man. He wasn't the me that might have been able to blend in with the crowd. He would have stuck out like a sore thumb out of that custody. From there, got to the airport with all the checkpoints on the way. Not only got to the checkpoint, he went through the checkpoint, he actually entered a private jet. He went through immigration, he entered a private jet and left Nigeria. And the utter lack of shame made it possible for sane human beings to come and tell Nigerians that this man escaped from Nigeria. What level of shamelessness? And then up until this moment, no heads have rolled. It tells you that there is a complete absence of shame in that space. If I were to be a Megad and I had custody of 2 rams inside the compound and one of the rams escaped, I'll feel myself too ashamed, open my mouth to tell my Oga what has happened to the ram. But the National Security Advisor had no shame telling Nigerians that the ram, in this case, a man that was arrested with great fanfare, has escaped Nigeria. This is merely symptomatic of the extent of shamelessness about the criminalities of those who are ruling us or ruling. It is impossible for something like that to have happened without extensive collaboration and complicity at the highest echelon of that security organization, if not the government itself. But we are made to believe that he simply walked out, walked through our airport, entered a private jet, and left Nigeria. Are we so stupid, or is it that we are just so completely devoid of shame? What about judicial corruption? The height of shame that will lead some men and women to make some of the pronouncements that have come out of our judiciary. Because if you had enough presence of mind and the capacity for self-reflection, you should even be ashamed to say some of the things that are said. Is it our churches? Let me bring you without consequences. Impunity is not the only problem we have. The impunity governing our space has been compounded by the complete absence of shame. Yorùbá will say, ohun tó tí ènìyàn lójú jolè lọ ó pọ̀. That means that there are many more things aside from stealing that should put a man to shame or make a man feel a sense of shame. To feel shame, you must feel remorse. To feel remorse, you must recognize the wrong in what. The fortunate thing is that the Nigerian no longer recognizes that anything is wrong with what he has done. But that is usually the case when perversion has become the order of the day. In the absence of a recognition of purpose, perversion becomes the norm. Nigeria has become a place where perversion has become the norm. This is what you're seeing every day. It is not just about shamelessness. It is about all the connective thread that shameless position We have become a shameless people because purpose is unknown, perversion has been normalized, and this is where we are today. We have become a country of perverse people. Anything goes. Anything goes. No shame, no remorse, no accountability, because there is no rule of law. Perversion has become the order of the day in our country. There is a complete subversion of moral standards and etiquette. APC. The national chairman of the APC is the one person no reasonable human being would want to associate with. He was caught on video taking bribes from a contractor, stuffing dollars into his babariga. Talk about how we got to this place where naira is oh yes, let's even see. There are more than enough malfeasances to point at. You come into power, grabbed it, snatched it, came into power, you met naira a little over 700 naira to the dollar. You drove it with your carelessness, your stealings. It went up to as high as 1,007. Now you've done some abracadabra. You are doing a lot of manipulation with monetary policies. You've driven it down to about 1,350, 1,004, and you are busy applauding yourself. What level of shamelessness is this? Your party's chairman is a confirmed thief. Busy stuffing Babari guy with money, gang dollar, the mobile bank, and then you make that one the national chairman of your party. But happy to that, I look at the president himself with all the baggage. Yesterday or thereabout, he was meant to be turning 72. He knows he's lying. We know he's lying. We all know he's lying. And yet we pretend that it is normal. This is the level of shamelessness that has come to permeate our space. The destruction of every one of our societal morality has led to an epidemic of gambling. We don't even seem to understand the level of problems we have with almost every one of our youth engaged in productive ventures, chasing after Naira, bet Niger, bet Naira, Naira bet. And our celebrities, they can't even understand. They are endorsing madness, advertising it, profiting off the putrefaction of the entire society. I speak as a reformed gambler. I gambled in my younger days. I'll bet on practically anything and everything, from to cards, to dice, to draft. And I know the destructive effect of gambling. But look at our society. We've become so hopeless that gambling has become the norm. If you are looking to make any money, since there is nothing productive to do, all you do is you gamble. You gamble, and we facilitated it. Nigeria must be one place where gambling is so completely unregulated that they do as they please. This is where we are as a collective. What about the sexual perversions? Bobrisky is busy winning best dressed. I have no problem with your sexual preferences, but at least keep it in private space. Stop corrupting the public morality. But in a place without shame, anything goes. Drug abuse, sexual abuse. These are functions of what we have become as a people. Look, if we're to ever come out of the mess we are in, we must begin to recognize that there is a need, a very urgent need, for us to find ourselves as a collective. Understand very clearly that a collective lack of shame and the loss of shame has also meant that as a collective, we've lost all sorts of moral standards. And without moral standards, how do we as a collective aspire to be better? How do you even preach morality in a space governed by known criminals? We might pretend that this is not the case, but those who are looking at us from outside are not fooled by our protestations of piety. They know our pastors for what they are. They know our imams for what they are. They know our ruiners for what they are. They have their criminal records. They look at us, they say we are fantastically corrupt. Yeah, they can say that because they see us and they are not wearing blinkers in judging us. We as a collective must strive to be better than we are. And it's not just the ruiners. It is me and you. If we must save ourselves, our children, and our country, we must look in the mirror to find the first culprit in the putrefaction of our space.